Retroactivity has become a buzzword throughout this off-season election cycle, as there are two retroactive components to Question 1.
Those who oppose Question 1 argue passage will give politicians in Augusta the power to make retroactive laws. But is that true? News Center Maine's Hannah Deneen is covering Question 1 for us and joins us with a closer look. Hannah?
Pat and Amanda, in short, this question does not give politicians in Augusta increased power. They already have the power to issue retroactive laws or laws with retroactive components, and it's been done in Maine dozens of times in just the last 2 decades. When pressed, the No campaign recognized that, but still argues it's bad policy and unfair to CMP.
Politicians do have the power to work with retroactive laws. However, whether or not there is the power already in place to do so, retroactive lawmaking is simply a bad way to make public policy.
Adrienne Bennett, spokesperson for Mainers for Fair Laws, a PAC which opposes Question 1, says Question 1 sets a bad precedent.
There is no precedent for the retroactive pulling of lawfully issued permits, and that's the precedent we're talking about here.
However, a portion of the permit was not lawfully issued, according to a Maine judge.
A Superior Court judge ruled the permit for the line to cross a mile of state-owned public land violates the Maine Constitution.
Article 9, Section 23 of the Maine Constitution requires the legislature to approve projects that substantially alter Maine public land by a 2/3 majority vote. The CMP corridor did not get that approval.
Clearly, the lease that was signed in 2014 and then renegotiated in 2020 was a direct violation of Maine's Constitution, Article 9, Section 23.
State Senator Rick Bennett, an outspoken critic of the corridor, is also a plaintiff in the Maine Superior Court case. He says retroactive laws are necessary in order to fix past mistakes.
Really, they are usually used when there's been an error in public policy making, as is the present case.
The Superior Court case is under appeal by CMP, leading Adrienne Bennett to argue this should be playing out in the courts, not at the polls.
So we have to await that decision to see if BPL did act appropriately or inappropriately. That's not for us to decide right now.
But voters will be deciding on that. In fact, they already are, as absentee voting has begun. Now, beyond the public land dispute, one question I've been asked is whether Question 1 is an example of ex post facto law. That's a law that changes the legal consequences of actions that were committed before the enactment of said law. So that's banned by the Constitution. Well, according to Maine law constitutional professor Dimitri Baum, it does not. He says ex post facto laws are generally criminal laws that impose a punishment for conduct that was legal when the defendant engaged in it. Pat and Amanda, back to you.
Thanks, Hannah.